What's up, everybody? So some new DNA information came out in Bryan Kohberger's case. This is from eonline.com and is linked in the description below, and it is being reported everywhere. Bryan Kohberger trial. DNA evidence from 3 individuals found under victims' fingernails. Bryan Kohberger's attorneys said in court documents, DNA from 3 individuals were found under the fingernail of Madison Mogen, who was murdered with 3 other University of Idaho students in 2022. Now, in my opinion, which means nothing, it wouldn't be shocking for somebody to have someone else's, like a young person in university, to have other people's DNA on them under their fingernails. She could have been in contact with other people. So it's not really something surprising, or at least I wasn't shocked when I saw it, that she had someone else's or 3 other people's DNA under her fingernails. But here's what the article states. New findings in the Idaho college murder case have emerged. Attorneys for Bryan Kohberger, who has been accused of fatally stabbing 4 University of Idaho students at their rental home in 2022, an investigator discovered DNA evidence from 3 individuals under Madison Mogen's fingernail. The data consisted of a 3-person mixture, the defense wrote in a motion unsealed on March 4th, which was 2 days ago, 2025, and obtained by E! News, noting that comparison to Bryan Kohberger's DNA was found inconclusive. It seems like they tested the DNA against Bryan Kohberger's DNA and it came back inconclusive, meaning he neither could be confirmed or eliminated as one of the contributors. So it still could be his. It's just not conclusive enough to say that it absolutely is. So it could be Bryan Kohberger's, perhaps 2 of her other roommates, perhaps Bryan Kohberger's and 2 other people that she knows, or perhaps it's not Bryan Kohberger's at all and it's just 3 other random people, which still doesn't mean that Bryan Kohberger didn't commit this crime. It doesn't mean he did either, but it also doesn't eliminate him from being the person that committed this crime. They said at least 4 other unnamed individuals were also tested during the investigation, with their results coming back as inconclusive as well. Kohberger's lawyers alleged the investigator used misleading language when they focused on Kohberger's inconclusive results during a grand jury testimony, potentially setting up the 29-year-old for an unfair trial. All of these individuals sit in the same shoes as Bryan Kohberger, the defense wrote in their filing, which had the investigator's testimony redacted from its pages. Thus, Mr. Kohberger's inconclusive LR is similar to almost every other person for whom an LR was generated, and focusing on his inconclusive LR would mislead the jury. The LR must be the DNA. Kohberger's legal team is looking to have parts of the investigator's testimony excluded before his case heads to trial in August. So we're just a few months away from this trial getting underway. All of this is just things leading up to the trial. Bryan Kohberger, who had a judge enter a not guilty plea to his murder charge when he remained silent during his 2023 arraignment, could face the death penalty if found guilty. In February, a judge denied the Washington State University alum's motion to suppress DNA evidence concerning a knife sheath that police say was found at the scene of the murders and trash taken from outside of the home of Bryan Kohberger's parents. While the defense argued law enforcement violated Kohberger's constitutional rights by not obtaining a warrant before conducting the trash pull, the judge disagreed and said the criminology graduate exposed his DNA to the public by leaving it on the knife sheath, and that by throwing away item of trash containing his DNA, the defendant cannot object to testing of that DNA. The judge also ruled that Bryan Kohberger's cell phone and email records, as well as surveillance footage and his Amazon purchase history, can be used at his upcoming trial. So the big thing here is that other DNA evidence that wasn't necessarily his, it's not confirmed either way, was found under one of the victim's fingernails. Now, like I said at the beginning, that doesn't mean it's not his. It doesn't mean it's inconclusive. It could very well be his DNA under her fingernails. But even if it's not, it doesn't mean he didn't do it. She's a young girl. Most of us have contact with other people. You could touch somebody, accidentally get their DNA under your fingernails, whatever the situation might be. It's not shocking that somebody else would have someone else's DNA under their fingernails, especially a young university student. But what do you think? Do you think this matters? Do you think it's a good thing for Bryan Kohberger? Do you think it's a bad thing for Bryan Kohberger? Let me know your thoughts. Leave some comments below. I hope you're having a good day, and I will see you again soon.